live. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning into this, or if you're watching this on replay, thank you for just tuning in to watch me talk for about like hour 40, hour 50, or however long I decided to go on this. I'm going to be watching the entire movie, so I am doing a watch along today for Rambo First Blood Part 2. The second film, which, if you have kept track of my channel, is my least favorite, but I still really enjoy it. I have a lot of fun with this. This is one of the most rewatchable for me. It's a lot easier to digest as a film than First Blood, which is a lot more of a sad movie. So it's a lot more fun to like get into like the 80s cheese. I can like turn my brain off for that type of movie. So have a lot of fun with this one. Do we have anyone in the chat right now? Nope. Hopefully we get someone soon, or I'm just going to be all alone. Just me and myself. Have some time to collect my thoughts. Yeah, I'm really good at my humor, but anyway, I will wait for a few people to join, or at least one person at the very least, because it would be pathetic to just start now, so I will wait a tiny bit, but the reason I'm doing this is because I hit on, I think it was Wednesday, yeah, Wednesday I believe was when I hit it. I hit uh no 300 subscribers, which was a huge achievement for me, and I was so happy I could get that done. So if you're here and watching this on replay and you are subscribed to me, thank you so much for that. I am so happy I managed to get to 300, but now I'm at 315, which was surprising because I got to it pretty fast. I'm actually, I think I'm at 318. It's 318 or 319. I think it's 318. So I've really been doing good lately. I've been catching on quick, and I am so happy I've managed to get that. And thank you. This is such an achievement. I hope to keep growing and growing. Hopefully, I can hit a K soon. If you don't know what a K means, it means 1,000. But that was a great thing. So I was so happy that I got it, and I am so happy. And I decided to reward myself by doing another watch along for Rainbow First Blood Part 2. After I rewarded myself for having to make a video where there are quite a bit of bad movies in that tier list. I did a tier list for Home Alone and Die Hard, and I can say while both of those have their highs, they really have their lows. Really. I mean, yeesh. It's laughable how bad those movies range from. So, still alone. Is anyone going to join? Hopefully soon, because I don't want to go when there's no one here. Just I don't know why, but if we'll go to like 10 minutes. If no one's joined by 10 minutes, I'll just start the film. Hopefully, this hopefully will not be the time where nobody just comes in at the time, because that would be pathetic even for me. Which that would be really, even for me, that would be pretty pathetic. But I have managed to get myself a good amount of subscribers, so I doubt that I will be alone this long. So hopefully people will join soon, and if not, I'm disappointed. I'm joking. I'm good at my humor on this channel, so hopefully we get someone soon. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one because it depends on. I'm really in the mood to go through part 2 and 3, because while those are my two least favorites in the franchise, I do prefer John Rambo and Rambo Last Blood. I think that I'm interested to see First Blood Part 2 and 3, because those are always very interchangeable for me. So I'm wondering if 3 is either gonna dip slightly, or if part 2 is gonna slightly rise. I have no idea which one will happen, but if so, then that's gonna be pretty interesting to see. So because I'm having to do a big ranking, which you should all know about by now if you've been following my channel, where I just cannot shut up about it. So this should be pretty fun, and I am so yeah, I'm because this is like the era where Rambo was like went to cartoon mode. Like part 2 is like the starting ground for it. 3 really goes into it where he's very much over the top, and like he's like shooting guns and everything. His depth as a character is gone, but I do still think it's very entertaining to watch. So I have plenty of fun with all of them. Give me 1 second. Okay. Do we still have anyone? Nope. Hmm. Okay. 2 likes. That means that someone must wait. Two. I think that's two. I think there's 2 likes here, so that means that someone must have already at least have liked at the very least. But there's no one in here, so I guess not. Or I'm just yeah, I don't know. Somebody will come here soon. I know it, but I have 5 minutes left, and I'll start the film, whether someone gets here or not. I'm interested to see if Film Kid will get here. I am would be surprised if he didn't, considering that Part Two is one of his favorite films. So you owe it to Part Two, Film Kid. So we'll get someone soon. I hope. But so if you're watching this on replay, thank you so much for at least watching this at the very least. And my first ever live Q&A did pretty well in terms of views. It got a lot of views, and that's another thing. Thank you all so much for the views I've been getting. The views have been enormous. I have really enjoyed the fact that I've been getting popular for certain things very fast, and like it's been slowing down a bit, but usually when it comes to certain things like Rambo, which I'm indebted to. So Rambo, as a character, I just love him. I think Stallone's just a great portrayal as the actor, but also I owe Rambo a big debt because of the fact that he has absolutely dominated my channel with views. Like almost every time I post something Rambo, it immediately gets people's interest and they click fast, and it usually gets hundreds and hundreds of views. So I am very happy about that. To this day, my ranking of the Rambo movies is still in my top three most popular videos, which is surprising considering some of the other ones I have there, where I actually made a ranking pretty early on when a movie came out or review, and those didn't get as high. It's pretty funny actually to me. And so we still do not have anyone in the chat, apparently. Whew, we'll get someone soon, I think. Maybe. Okay. Okay. Mm, 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 yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Well, I still have like almost two. I have 2 minutes left before I start the film. Whether someone comes in or not, I will get someone. I hope, because I don't want to just be here alone. Because usually the greatest part about it is getting to talk with people for certain things and just to have fun. Because this is a very big '80s movie, so I will have fun with that. And because I have really enjoyed it, I cannot. I think I preferred Rambo 3 when I first saw it to Part 2. I don't know why. I think it was just because Part 2 I think was a little more self serious about the facts, but it was very silly at points. And Rambo 3 didn't take itself as seriously. Plus, it just goes way more bonkers in the third act with the action. So I'm like, yeah, this is what I want from a film. This is awesome. So I do have a ton of fun with all the Rambo movies, whether it be a little fun or, well, actually not a little, a lot of fun to like in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. So they can get pretty quickly. So I'm about to start the movie. So okay, but I'm very excited for this, and we will see as soon as I get my Rambo 3 watch along done. Which one I prefer, Rambo 3 or First Blood Part 2? At the moment, it seems like Rambo 3 maybe, but it could change. Rambo 3 and Rambo First Blood Part 2 have been changing a lot lately. There are days I prefer Part 2 to 3. There are days I prefer 3 to Part 2. It just depends on my mood, because if I'm in like a big action mood, I go to Part 3. If I'm in the mood for a lot of action, that's probably better action, I go to Part, what was I on? I think 2? Yeah. Wait, hasta la vista, baby. Hello there. Oh, thank God, somebody actually got here. Sorry about that. That was just me talking about, because I was like basically talking to no one for like nearly 10 minutes. So I was like, okay, fine, please. Somebody came in. Hello, Hosta. Thank you so much for coming to this. I was hoping that somebody would get here soon, because it was getting a bit lonely in here. But glad to see I have somebody in here because I'm about to do a watch along for First Blood Part 2. Sorry if you guys only see a black screen. That's what I've been doing lately because it's a lot easier to do for me. And considering that it's a lot harder for me to do some different types of things. So I decided that I would just do a First Blood Part 2 watch along because I did my First Blood watch along uh like like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it's like I think it was around 2 weeks ago. And I still need to watch along for 3, 4, and 5. And I am really excited for this. This is my least favorite of them at the moment, but I am having a ton of fun because I do really enjoy it. And wait a minute. Wait. Okay, never mind. So, by the way, guys, if anyone else is here or is going to be coming, or if you're watching this on replay, just so you know, uh, 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 wait, what was I thinking? Oh, great. I'm done. Well, uh, oh, wait. I was going to say, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them below. I will answer them as best I can, and thank you for that. Hosta, would you join me on McLean Monday? I'm going to be watching Die Hard every Monday until Christmas. I think that's a good idea. I think I may not do it every Monday because Mondays are a bit busy for me with some schoolwork, but I will try and do that every single Monday. That you have my word. I will try my hardest to get it done every week. And I can tell you, so Hosta, I will join you. I don't know if Film Kid's gonna do it like that, but I'm gonna do it. And Hosta, remind me if you're willing to do a review for Die Hard on Christmas Eve. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Eve. I will be dropping a double feature between a Die Hard review on Christmas Eve, as well as a tier list of every Christmas movie I have ever seen in my life ranked. That's going to be a big one and a long one, full of a lot of rants and quite a bit of anger because I'm going to have the Home Alone 3, 4, 5, and 6 in there because ay ay ay. If you guys saw my tier list for the Home Alone and Die Hard movies, you know what I'm talking about with my frustration for that. There are no words to describe how awful these movies can get, but Hosta, nice. I will try and get Die Hard done as much as possible. I am due for a rewatch because it's been a long time since I watched that movie. I watched it like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago. Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago, so I have not watched it in quite a while for a movie that good. I need to rewatch it. Uh, but anyway, I think that does it. So I think I will now start the film. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in. I will answer them while I am doing this. But I am going to start the film now. So don't let that be like a thing to where you guys have to like just quiet down. You have all the right to like uh, drop questions down below. So I'm just gonna start the film now. And it just started, and there was just an explosion because that's how it opens. Because they are starting at the jail. And then in January, I'm going to do a Dark Knight January challenge uh, where I'm going to watch the trilogy in January. I don't think I can watch the entire trilogy every like Monday, if that's what you're wondering. That would be a very big challenge, but I can like try that in January. They're at the prison where Rambo was kept after he got arrested for what he did in the opening. I mean, after what he did in First Blood. And we just saw Rambo. There he is. This is my first time rewatching it since the first time I watched it. Drummond's talking to Rambo. I've seen worse. Hassan, no. I'm saying watch the 3 Dark Knight movies one time in January. If you're asking me to do that, I can do that. I would have a lot of fun with that. I'm due for rewatch on those movies as well. Hmm. Troutman's offering Rambo what's about to happen about him getting to do the rescue mission. Hasta, nice. I would be happy to. And now Troutman's asking if he's interested. Rambo's thinking, yeah, he said yes. For all like the flaws I have with this film, while still being a good film, I can still admit this. I think this may have better cinematography than the original. I think they upgrade the cinematography because I think they had a bigger budget because the original was a hit. Rambo just said, "Do we get to win this time?" That was apparently a big deal when he said that back then. That's up to you. And we're getting the title. Mario Casar and Andrew Vaj. I can't pronounce that. A George P. Kamat Cosmeta. Okay, fine. Sylvester Stallone in. At least I read that part right. Rambo First World War II. Awesome. This is a really fun film. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Keep watch burns, questions about my opinions. Like if you have any requests for me, drop them in the comments and I will answer them if I can. So I will be happy to. So if you have anything, drop them in the comments. I will be giving commentary on this film. So if you don't want spoilers, this is your time to click out. Hasta, I know that's not a worry for you because you've seen part 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do think that. Yeah, there is better cinematography in this one than in the original. It is probably more rewatch. Yeah, I think it's more rewatchable than the first because the first one's a bit more sad, so it's harder to watch, especially knowing how it's a bit more on the slow side and uh uh Hosta. Wait, screenplay by Stallone and James Cameron. Yeah. Wait, Hosta. Any new thoughts on part 2? The cinematography thing, and that is basically it. And it's a lot better than so far than I remember it being, and I still really enjoyed it the first time. So this could elevate over 3 because 3 I remember didn't age as well with certain regards. A lot of people. I even went on the comment section of like a Rambo ranking yesterday, and there was a guy that said, "I'm from Russia, so obviously I'm not very big fan of Rambo 3," which was pretty funny, to be honest. Rambo's with the guy that he plays in the Karate Kid. I think you know who I'm talking about. Hopefully, Hasta. It's a 7 out of 10 to me. Yeah, 7 out of 10 is probably what I would give it. 7 to 8 out of 10. Yeah, Marshall Murdoch. Stupid thing. I once thought that was Teasel. Just he lost weight. Probably stupid, but still. Oh yeah, Rambo's born 1947. That would put him in his. He was like in his like 30s in this. He was like in his 30s to 40s in this apparently. I think it was like 35. Well, he would have been around 38 years old. Yeah, he would have been 38 years old if he was born in 1947, because this takes place in 1985, I think. Yeah. And Murdoch is explaining to Rambo the mission. So I always thought the title Rambo First World Part 2 was stupid. Uh, wait, I can't read part of it. Give me a second. I think it says, can it, hold on. Can it's Second Blood or something, not this. It would be a lot better if it was named First Blood Part 2, because it has almost nothing to do with the original. Besides the fact they reference it a few times, it's basically its own new story. I think they were just trying to cash in on part of it. But part two is kind of a stupid name for certain things. Like it can work at times, like Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part Two. That's a good title, but when it's like First Blood Part Two, it just doesn't work. Especially since it's not to do with First Blood. It references a few times, but other than that, it's not to do with it at all. It's a completely new story. I'm surprised we only have one person in the chat right now. I'm guessing some people that were in my First Blood thing realized they hadn't seen First Blood Part 2 and decided not to join because they didn't want spoilers. Jarwin just said, don't join the blood and guts routine. Clearly, not as subtle. Pasta. It should have been Second Blood, not Rambo First Blood Part 2. I agree with that. That would have been a much better name. Second Blood. And then Rambo 3 would have either been Rambo 3 or Rambo Third Blood. Rambo Third Blood, that would have probably been stupid. Like, you can do it, you can get away with it like a few times, but after that, like, no one to stop. Rambo's way more quiet in these ones than he is in 4 and 5. He's a lot more quiet because mostly 4 and 5 he usually needs to talk because he's dealing with people that he like needs to talk. In part 2 and 3, he's a lot more exiled in his missions, so he just need to talk. 4 and 5, he's in public a lot, so he had to, especially 5. He talks more in 5, I think, than he does in 1, 2, 3, and 4 combined, which is hilarious. Jarwin just said, well, you choose to call hell, he calls home. That's hilarious. And here we're going. Here we go. And Hauser basically just flexing Stallone's muscles, which is mostly what it was marketed as just like the biggest action blockbuster of all time. This competed with Commando for like the 80s action 1985 blockbuster. I prefer Commando, which was a hot take considering that Commando was my favorite movie of the year came out, which is a really hot take considering Back to the Future came out that year, but I stand by what I say. Back to the Future is overrated. Commando's awesome. It's just so entertaining. Film Kid. Yes, 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 the best Rambo. Gotta disagree there, buddy, but glad to see you're here. I was hoping you would get here because this is your favorite film. I mean, not favorite film, favorite Rambo film. But it's not the best, but I will say it is good. Really good. And Based on what I'm saying, it could give Rambo 3 a rival. Which I know you may not be a very big fan of Hosta because you seem to really enjoy Rambo 3. So if you're in here, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're not already subscribed, subscribe, because the reason I'm doing this is because this is a 315 subscribe. Wait, what was I saying? 315 celebration. Hosta. Rambo 3 is like Rocky 3. Super enjoyable. Yeah, they are very enjoyable. So that is really fun. Film Kid just got out of the theater. I just watched The Shift. I never get to go to the theater, so a friend told me I need to watch it, so I'm gonna watch it soon if I can. Uh, but it's supposed to be like a sci-fi movie. Film Kid, what is it rated? I think it was rated R. It was between R and PG-13. I can't tell. And Hasta is a good film, Kid. Oh, sorry. I'll let you two have that conversation. I love like how Charmin a lot of the times has some really good banter between certain people. Film Kid PG-13 for intense elements. Oh, I knew it was a sci-fi movie. I'll try and see it in theaters. If it's playing in a theater, I can see. So, I really want to see it. So, Costa, what's some of your favorite movies I've never watched? Ooh, okay. I mean, I don't know all the movies you watched, but if I had to take a guess, I can't say Halloween because you watched that. I can't say Scream because you watched that. I'm trying to think. What's some really good ones? Let me think about that real quick. But that's a really good question. Really good. Hmm. What are some really good movies you haven't watched? Hmm. Okay. Have you seen Sound of Freedom? Not yet. I probably will soon, but I just didn't want to do it because it's a movie that is very critical for you on the internet, and I am not in the mood to like have people say that if I'm like I give it a good review, but it's not like 5 stars. Like people are gonna come and saying you support human trafficking. Like I'm like okay, I'm just not in the mood to deal with that right now. I will probably like the film, but I'm just not in the mood to have to deal with a lot of people giving their attitudes to me for certain things like that. Because boy, suck it up, guys. Hasta. I really want to watch Holdovers. Any of you guys excited for that? I will see it soon. It looks a bit weird, but I hear it's really good. But I'm in the mood to see some more 2023 movies. I'm gonna try and see Oppenheimer soon because VidAngel just downloaded it. So I will see Oppenheimer soon, I believe. But I hear it's great. So Hasta, it's your number one film of the year, and a lot of other people's number one films of the year. So hopefully it's good. And Rambo's currently like hanging out of an airplane. Very inconvenient. Poor Rambo. Okay, I watched Commando a week ago. It was incredible. Yeah, it was. It was awesome. It's the most entertaining movie of that year. I don't care what you guys say. Back to the Future's overrated and Commando's better, and also it has more one-liners. So it's definitely better. Which, believe me, I get a lot of flack on my channel for saying that Back to the Future is overrated. A lot of people will kill me for saying that. Costa, I would say I haven't watched any 10 out of 10 movies of the year, but maybe Holdovers would do it for me. I thought Oppenheimer was a great movie for you. Because John Wick Chapter 4, I would say, is probably a 10 out of 10. It's in my top 20 favorite movies of all time, so It is great. And the action on it is great. The cinematography is great. The characters are debatably the best set of characters that we've had in a while. Like Donnie Yen's character alone is the best character I think since besides John Wick. He's a great character, very interesting as well. There's a reason he's getting his own spin-off, I believe, because of the post credit scene in John Wick Chapter 4 shows you that he's going to get a spin-off. Well, they cannot give us that big of a cliffhanger. Film Kid, well, I have to go have a good live. Oh man. Well, good to see you. And if you want to come back, feel free to. Hopefully you will, but have a good one. Hasta. Oppenheimer's amazing and close to a 10 out of 10. I'm probably gonna rewatch it soon, but not quite there. It is a great movie. Well, actually, sorry, I can't say, but I hear it's a great movie. Rambo just like choked a snake, which I doubt would happen, but still. I guess you have to suspend a bit of disbelief. But still entertaining. Yeah, this is real. I love the way that they use the camera work in this, and I love they have like a bit of a more like a brightish filter on it compared to the original, which is a bit more dark. So I enjoyed that cinematography side of it. It looks a lot more like what a James Cameron film looks like because like the screenplay was by I think it was the screenplay by James Cameron. James Cameron was involved in this. It was part of the action stuff, which makes it look like it because this is James Cameron like type action compared to the others. So both Rambo and Rocky went a bit silly with the sequels. Boy, did they! 2 was grounded enough for the Rocky 2 was more grounded, but 3 and 4 really went there. And 5, it was not really over the top, but it was. But 2 and 3 really went over the top. Then they go completely grounded with 4 and 5. They're just very, very dark, brutal, violent, gory. So if you're in here, hit that like button if you're in the mood to. But please do. It helps me out a lot for what I like to do because it makes me feel like people really care about this. Rambo just encountered the girl that later dies, which was another one of my problems with the film. I think it wasn't built up right. It was like, are you kidding me? As soon as she says "I love you," she dies. That is a horrible decision. They're now like exploring the jungle. I love the actions. I love the set pieces in here. They're a lot. They are a bit. I've been really enjoying this film. I really have underestimated how pretty entertaining this is. I'm really in an easy action mood. I've done this, and I'm finishing up Predator when I do this. I'm around the time where Dutch is setting the traps. That was this is a really good movie, but Predator is far superior. That's just considering that Predator is in my top. I think it's now my top 3 of all time. It is up there, but I do love it. Oh wait, there's a dog in here. Oh yeah, there's a dog in here, so I obviously now have to have it above Rambo 3 because if there's not, seriously, I love dogs. Hasta. I honestly didn't really love the ending of Mission Impossible 7. Oh, shame on you, mister. It did end unlike Spider-Verse, but Spider-Verse, Empire, and Infinity War all leave you super excited for the second part. I'm not excited for the second part. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just got me angry and frustrated. It's like I can wait for I can wait for the 7th one. For the 8th one because of the fact that they built it up towards at a conclusion. Like if this is the end, until like for like 2 to 3 years. I'm like, okay, they gave me a great conclusion to part of it, and I'm like, okay, I can deal with that. And three just gets me angry because they end on such a bad note. I'm like, okay, come on, now I need to see it because you just decided to give us the most stupid ending possible, and also because it's Across the Spider Verse is so overrated that it needs to die down a lot. People are too nice to the film and they don't recognize any of the flaws. Like the fact is, the ending is awful. It is one of the worst endings I've seen in a long time. Infinity War does get you excited, but that's because it kind of comes to a conclusion. Everything that like Thanos has won, but everything that was like all the stuff they were like putting in the movie had come to a close. Like that is it came to a sort of conclusion. In Empire, everything as well was resolved that they set up in the film, except for a tiny little bit that they left for Return of the Jedi to do. But Spider Verse just completely just does a terrible ending. I think I think Dead Reckoning ends too much if that makes sense. Empire Strikes Back ends but still makes you wanna need to watch the second one. I have no idea how it ends so much how it ends too much. I don't think that makes sense. Because it feels like it perfectly comes to a close at the conclusion, but I loved The Dead Reckoning Part 1. And I watched it a bit more late, but I loved it. Tom Cruise is committing. He's gonna kill himself one of these days, let's be honest. Rambo's talking to the girl about what happened, and he's in like the boat. I think they use the score pretty decent in this. He's a lot more quiet and shy in this one, but to be fair, that's mostly Rambo. He was a lot more broken by the war. The war changed people. The Vietnam War was it could be brutal, so he had to deal with a lot. And the yeah it's like they go a lot they go bigger in certain elements, but it's like the thing where it's bigger can be good, but it also is a bit weirder. But like if you take I think they're trying to say that war is awesome and like war is something that is very romantic, and that war just is like shirtless people killing a lot of bad guys for no reason. And then you get to John Rambo, which is the complete opposite, where it's not romantic. It is hell, and it is painful, brutal, bloody, gory. The entire war package. Hasta. People ain't talking about this, but Across the Spider Verse treated Peter B. Parker terribly. That's something else I forgot to mention. I really hated they sidelined Peter B. Parker. He's my favorite character in the Spider Verse. I'm not as big a fan of Miles, and the fact that they sidelined him is horrendous. Uh, mm, I love the fact that he got back with MJ and got a kid's uh but he's so silly in a cross. Yeah, he's not. Well, he's silly in Into the Spider Verse, but it felt like it came at the moment, and it felt like it was to his character because he was a bit more broken. But he's finally fixed in this one, and they take him as a joke. It's idiotic how they treat him. People just do not want to admit it because they think it's a great film, and they just don't want to recognize that there's a flaw with it. They just think it's perfect when it's not. Not at all. Not even close. Because I can tell you things like The Dark Knight, which a lot of people say Across the Spider-Verse is better. The Dark Knight's on another planet. Now Charmin is talking with Murdoch about going in to get Rambo. Yeah, they have a pretty good funny banter, Murdoch and Troutman. I do. I do think that the character of the lady that dies, I cannot remember her name if she has even said it. Yeah, I think she did, but I just forgot it. Mostly because I think I was ranting at that point. But I think that I think I do think she's a very strong female character in this. I really do enjoy her. Hosta. It was mostly the first 2 months people were praising Spider-Man for being Spider-Verse for being the best superhero movie ever. Nope, they're still doing it, man. Check online. Yeah, I see tons of people say that it's like the greatest movie of all time. It's not even in the top 100. I'm coming up with a top 100 video as soon as I hit 1K. And I can tell you, it's not a single one is going to be in my top 100. Too overrated. Don't deserve it. Imagine a lot of people having him in their top 10 and being like, you don't even have him in your top 100? You're a disgrace. But you have Rambo in there. Oh, yeah, he's dead. Which I can tell you, people are going to kill me for that. Hosta. It's in the top. It's in the IMDb top 30. I know that. It's so aggravating. I hate it. It shouldn't even be in the IMDb top 200. It's so annoying. Ugh. Hosta. A few spots above T2. That's also what angered me so much. You do not say that Across the Spider-Verse is better than T2. I'm probably, as soon as I sign up for IMDb, probably just gonna dislike the film just to get it lower. I just don't want it that high. It shouldn't be that high on IMDb. It certainly should not be above Die Hard because it is above Die Hard. Disgraceful. I just get so angry every time I think about it because of how, uh, because just of how much love it gets. I think Rebel's pretty cool in this. This is like him in his 80s action mode, but he's still fun. I think it's a lot more entertaining than I remember. Rambo's sneaking around and oh that was actually pretty impressive that he did that. Oh, so the reason people don't rate Die Hard higher is because it didn't change movies enough. I think if people looked more at Die Hard, uh we won't get much better movies. Yeah, Die Hard changed the action movies forever. It's considered the greatest action movie of all time. That and T2 are. They are, well, at least by my standards and by a lot of people's standards. Die Hard is the greatest. Is debatably my favorite movie of all time. It is Christmas time, so I think it is my favorite movie of all time right now. But so, which is why I think I am so happy, Hosta, that you invited me on to that. Like, what is it? Wait, Hosta, would it be okay if we decided to change the date to like like the weekend? That would be a lot easier to do because like Mondays I usually have school, so it's a bit harder. So and that's like a 2 hour long film. So I think like the weekend would be much easier, like Saturday or Sunday. Probably not this Saturday, but like starting Sunday. But if you don't want to, I can like try and manage time. But that was just like a question I wanted because Die Hard's a bit of a long film. It's a great film though. I'm starting to want to watch it now because of it. I've already watched one John McTiernan film today with Predator. Well, I'm finishing it up. Then I will have watched it, but I think why not now get another John McTiernan film? Hasta, if you can find a good name for it. Wait, what was your name for Die Hard on a Monday? Wait, wasn't it McLean Day? Hmm. Ooh, that would actually probably be pretty hard to do. Hmm. How could I? I mean, you could probably tarantula on a man. Oh yeah, this is really hard to watch. McLean Monday. Oh, that's actually pretty smart. I'll think of something. Give me a second while I think of it. Hmm. And Hosta, am I the only one participating in this, or are like the genre challengers doing it? Just asking. Just so I know. Rambo's like sneaking up in the water, and like your guy's being like is like strapped to like some wood, and he's pretty skinny. It's kind of hard. Oh yeah, poor guy. Ugh. At moments it seems pretty serious like that, but then you go into like Rambo going full cartoon mode, so it's a bit harder. But I do think this is one of the best versions of Rambo in terms of like in terms of like how cool he is. He can get it very cool. Last Blood's also one of the most like dangerous and scary versions of him. Yeah. Asta just made a post about it. Haven't talked about anyone else about it. Okay, then I will read that post as soon as I'm done there. The view, Drew. Hey everyone, what's up? I'm doing good. How are you doing? And so watching Rambo First Blood Part 2. I know you have seen these films, so I can at least rely on not having to spoil it for you. But I do remember I can tell I'm enjoying this one a lot more than I did last time. And Rambo just threw a knife at someone. There's the Rambo we know. That's been hiding. So Drew, is your profile pic Logan? I can answer that question. That is Logan. I've seen the poster for Logan. That is the poster for Logan, which I need to see, by the way. I hear X-Men Origins Wolverine's awful. I hear the Wolverines decent, and I hear Logan's awesome. So I'll get to those movies soon. At least get to see one movie where Wolverine goes full on berserk. Whereas, well, actually, X2 he goes pretty berserk. He goes pretty berserk at one point. However, for a tiny bit, if it is, but that was still probably the best scene in X2. Just watching him go full on nuts on those guys, like he was going full crazy, which is awesome. Rambo just shot a bow at someone in the head. He's not playing around. To be fair, he never does. He's never. I don't think he jokes at all, except for one joke he makes in First Blood, about like the road and keeping your eyes on the road. Other than that, he's a very, very, very serious person, and he also like maybe like makes one joke in the original. Uh, Origins horrible. The Wolverine horrible. Logan fantastic. I have no idea why you hate the Wolverine so much. To be fair, I hear it's pretty decent by some people, and there are also some people that say it's eh. It depends, but I've never heard someone say it's like outright awful. But if you don't like the fact that it's a bit more PG-13, watch the unrated cut. There's an unrated cut of the Wolverine, and like that sequence with like the ninjas, because I think in the PG-13 cut, Logan doesn't get to do anything. He just like tries to run away or something, and like or he like fights him, but it's PG-13 fighting. In the unrated cut of the Wolverine, he goes berserk on those guys and destroys them. And I believe it's pretty violent. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. I'll see. I'm gonna see the trilogy in it soon. I may decide to see it like this week or next week, but I will see Logan soon. Although it could be a hard watch. I know Logan's. Oh, sadly, I had the ending spoiled for me. I know what happens to Wolverine at the end. Sadly, and I've seen the death scene. It is super sad. That cuts deeper than Wolverine's claws. What happens? Rainbow's like now helping the hostage and that woman. Wait, how did that hostage die? I can't remember because I know he doesn't make it to the end. It feels like at moments it's like very good cinematography, but at other points it feels like it's kind of glossy, kind of like how Scream 4 has that like gloss filter over it. So the Wolverine has qualities and is definitely technically better than Origins, but the Wolverine is so boring besides Logan. The characters are super one dimensional and the villain is so ugly. I'm not going to say that word because I'm 14, so I don't believe you should be saying words like that at my age. Maybe when you're older, but yeah. But I I knew the Origins had a horrible villain with a well what we see them do to Deadpool is unforgivable. Luckily, we get the loudmouth version in Deadpool 1 and 2, which I am not going to be seeing for a long time with what they do in that movie. My parents would kill me if I saw it. Uh, Figured that they wouldn't kill me, but they would not be happy. But I know it's technically better because I know that the X-Men Origins Wolverine had horrendous CGI. And Rambo just took out a guy, well, like two guys. No, wait, three, no, four, no, five. Hold on 1 second while I'm giving commentary, Rambo. No, no second. Oh, dang it. And now his girlfriend just took out one. I think it was seven. I couldn't count because he was too selfish to give me one moment. Hosta, the two first Wolverine movies are probably my two least favorite movies of all time. That's probably not very good. The fact that your two least favorite movies of all time are both 1-star films instead of 1/2. But I don't think they're that bad in terms of what I hear from some movies. I already know they're not going to be worse than like the Cat in the Hat, the Home Alone sequels after the second, Alien vs Predator, Requiem, all of these horrendous films. The mean one, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I could spit out a lot of horrendous films that are all 1/2 stars. Actually, no, Alien vs Predator, Requiem is 1 star, not 1/2. It's because I still will give them credit for at least going R-rated and having aliens and predators fighting, even if you can only hear it. Thanks a lot for that, by the way. So great of them to do that to us. As soon as we get the just our luck. As soon as we actually get the R-rated version of Alien vs Predator Requiem, what happens? You can't even see it because of how they use the lighting. And this like boat scene where Rambo's being choked right now, and there's like a boat that's on fire that's floating toward them, and he just stabbed a guy. Oh, it's a lot more. It's a lot more bloody than I remember. Yeah, he just jumped in time. Hosta, they might be worse, but personally, I would rate them both 0 out of 10s. Hosta, not even a 1/2 star. Oh, so they're a 1/2. So they're a 1 star instead of a 1/2. Yeah, because that's what it says on your letterboxed. Which, uh, everyone, if you have if you don't know, if you have letterbox, make sure to follow me on there. I usually like if you want early rankings for me and like seeing what I think of movies by stars, I would highly suggest you follow me on there and also follow Hosta while you're at it. I would highly I follow him. His name is Pasta69. So wait, Hosta, I don't have letterbox. So I've been following some random stranger whose name is Pasta69 who has nearly all the same opinions as you. Seriously? That is probably not a very. Wait, Hosh, are you sure? Because other than that, then you must have some very big fan. Because that is very ironic. Wait, then that means I think Jay's also following the wrong person, and Film Kid's also following the wrong person. I think because he's also following Austin Burke, so that's hilarious. I may need to tell them that we just made a very stupid decision. Hostile what? I know, I have no idea. I had no idea that wasn't you. I mean, I kind of thought it because you weren't following me, but I was like, okay, seriously? This guy, he doesn't have letterbox, but he has nearly all the same opinions as Hosta. He gave Rambo Last but a 1.5 star, which disgusts me, by the way. And he his name's Pasta69, and seriously, and he gave Wakanda Forever a 4.5, which really disgusts me. Well, actually, it was 4.5, but I hate that he gets that much. And he gave the Wolverine and X-Men Origins Wolverine a 1 star, so apparently he really is a fan of you. So Hosta, pat yourself on the back because you have one really big fan. This is like the famous scene with Rambo like being at that like field, and he's being shot at from all places, and he's like trying to get the hostage to safety. And now Troutman sees Rambo and is telling him to go lower. Also, I wouldn't give Wakanda Forever a 4.5, 4.5 stars. I'm not that crazy. No, wait a minute. Does that mean that Civil War's not a 4.5? Oh, come on. Because I guarantee you, Wakanda Forever's not even in the top half of MCU. It's easily in the bottom 5. So calling it better than things like Civil War, The Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, No Way Home? I just can't agree with you there. Eh. Murdoch. Mr. Baguette plays or says 3.3. I have no idea what that means. Oh, wait, I think I know who that is now. Oh. Mr. Baguette plays. Do Home Alone, please? Okay. And Murdoch is telling them to abort the mission. And they just found out it's a double cross. Hosta also, the only quality with Origins is Hugh Jackman acting. That does not give it 1 out of 10. Oh, I mean, Hugh Jackman's a good actor. I've only seen him so far in a few of the X-Men movies, and The Prestige, which I loved. He is awesome. Mr. Baguette plays. I can't. Please, I have no idea what I'm gonna do a Home Alone watch along, which I doubt. I need to get the Rambo 3, 4, and 5 done when it comes to the watch alongs. Yeah, Rambo is getting captured, and the hostage. So there is the hostage killed. I cannot remember. I think he was because I remember he doesn't. I don't. I remember he wasn't at the end. Wait, was he? I can't remember. Hasta, are you gonna watch Inception? I think you'll love it. I will try and watch it in a few days. I know it's on my radar. I'm gonna watch it as soon as I get done with the Fast and the Furious movies. As soon as I get done with what is it? Uh, I finished Furious 7 today. So as soon as I get through the Fate of the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, F9, and Fast X, I'll get to Inception. That's my next movie on my watch list. That's on my radar. Then I need to get through the rest of the MonsterVerse movies because I saw Godzilla, the one from 2014, and Murdoch and Troutman are like having their like argument type thing. Troutman's getting back to like the exposition type thing where he's like trying to scare Troutman, that certain type of thing. Now he's like trying to justify the fact that he just left Rambo and an innocent man to die, which I have no idea how he's gonna do. Rambo. So if you guys have any keep watch burns, feel free to drop in the comments. I will answer them because those are usually what I like to do around here because they're fun. I really enjoy some keep watch burns. Like a lot of the times when it comes to some new movies, I have some fun with those. Hasta. Something I realized watching T2 last week is John Connor's humor is super outdated. There's a scene where he does the high five joke, give me low, too slow, and that's just laughs crazy. His humor gets a bit dated nowadays, I think. But to be fair, the kid was like 13. He was like in the realm of like he should have been doing that type of stuff. So it gets a bit dated now, but I still love it. T2 in my eyes, except for like one little flaw that I have with the film, is basically a perfect movie. Like where that scene where you see Arnold shoot the T-1000 in the head. There's like one scene that if you're paying attention real quick, it cuts to the back of him and it's you see it open. Well, I mean you see the opening like splatter part of it happen before it actually does. I know it sounds you have no idea what I just said, but so if you have any keep watch burns, maybe give me a few of those, and I will try and answer them. Some new movies I could like try and answer that I've seen, but that'll be fun. I'm pretty good at keep watch burns. And Rambo's like now in that mud with like the leeches all over him, which is really hard because leeches are they can be painful. I've never had one, but I had to study them, so ugh, they get. He's basically now only wearing a thong, so that's really he's basically naked in like that water, except for wearing a thong, which is still basically naked, considering. And I was like getting the knife on him. The guy's using the knife to get the leeches off, which is a stupid idea, by the way. If you're gonna get the leeches off, you need to apply salt, or you can get the teeth stuck in you. It would be an infection. Hosta, thank you for the keep watch burn. Keep watch burn. 3 movies you haven't watched, but how much you want to see them. And keep them. Inception, Schindler's List, and Titanic. It's Nolan, Cameron, and Spielberg. Oh yeah. Hmm. It's okay. Um. Uh. I think. Uh. I can enjoy. Okay, Titanic. I will burn because I enjoy James Cameron's filmography, but I have the Terminator, Aliens, and Terminator 2 to satisfy me with James Cameron and True Lies. I have I will watch Schindler's List because it's a film that is apparently very dark in a movie that I will probably as soon as I see it never watch again. And I will keep Inception because it's supposed to be like one of the greatest movies of all time, and it's by Nolan, who is I think my favorite movie director of all time. It's between him and Spielberg. So I will. That is my answer. So give me all sorts of keep watch burns if you want. Like the harder ones are the really ones that stump me. That's the some of my favorites. So feel free for all those. Keep watch burns are what I always love. That's like a staple I'm trying to make in my channel. I didn't invent it, but I'm trying to make it like a staple where people just organically just ask me without me asking. But it'll probably come eventually, maybe. Yeah, like Lieutenant's talking with Rambo. I wish YouTube Radio you headquarters. Asta. I think Schindler's List is technically top 10 best movies of all time, but I like Inception more. Yeah, here Schindler's List is great, but it's a film that most people say it's a one that they will probably never watch again. So I think I'll be the same way. Like Seven, which I watched recently, it was like my first ever film that I'm like, okay, I love that, but I will probably almost never rewatch that film again. Maybe one more time in my life, and then I'm probably done because that was a hard one to watch, especially some of the things that they described, especially with what happened to like the in case there are kids in here, I'm not gonna say, but what happened to one of the women that they say and how she died was verbally very graphic to hear because it's such a gruesome thing. So, sheesh. But I really just thought that was really just disturbing. But I did love Seven. Mr. Baguette plays. I'm not going to be doing Home Alone for a while. I'm sorry, but that's not something I'm at, like a top priority because, especially because I cannot wipe those sequels from my mind. Home Alone 6, Mr. Baguette. Home Alone 6 is the worst, and you have to agree with me. It's the most offensive, but 5 is worse because it's more boring. 5 is so unbelievably boring. I just can't stand it. Rambo's not being tortured on the like device, which is apparently really painful. I think they generate electricity into him or something. It's like electrocuting him. It's doing something. That's definitely painful. So if you're in here, make sure to hit that like button. If you're on replay, hit that like button. It helps me out a lot. Thank you so much. Make sure to hit it. Poor Rambo. Hosta. The thing about Seven is that the movie ends on a hopeful note. Exactly like The Dark Knight, Morgan Freeman says, a man once said the world is a good place and worth fighting for, and I believe the second part uh, ends on a happy note. The movie ends with Brad Pitt's character, Brad Pitt's wife, having her head in a box. He kills. He kills the killer, meaning that he's probably I think going to get arrested. So I don't have no idea how that's a happy ending. So that's why I'm gonna rewatch it. I have no idea. Explain to me how you think that's a hopeful ending because that's a very dark ending to me. Mr. Baguette plays the bad guys are the good guys in the confusing. If you're trying to say that the bad guys are wait, I'm so confused. If you're talking about the movie, then I've seen that. Once. Well actually no, I think it's like twice, but I didn't really like it. It was fine at best. But it's definitely not like a top tier greatest movie of all time. Oh, poor Rambo. He's being electrocuted and has to like make that call. Luckily, his girlfriend's coming to his rescue. Yeah, she's a pretty strong female lead in this, which is why I have no idea why they decided to kill her off like this. Incredibly stupid idea. Hasta. And after that, Morgan Freeman realizes the world is worth fighting for. Oh, yeah. That was partially hopeful, but then again, it also means that I think Brad Pitt's character does have to. I think I also makes it think. I think Brad Pitt's character has to go to jail. I think. Oh, they just put the knife in the hot hole and are gonna like torture him with that. That's gonna be really hard. Uh, Asta, did you predict what was in the box? Wait, did I? Did I? I'm trying to think. Did I? I think I thought it was. I knew I thought it was something. What did I think it was? I I don't know if I thought. Actually, I don't think I thought so because I was assuming that. I assumed it was evidence about Morgan that the killer made that Morgan Freeman was the killer because I thought I heard a rumor that Brad Pitt shot Morgan Freeman and Morgan Freeman dies at the end and then the killer somehow manages to kill Brad Pitt. That was what the ending was for me. I thought, and so I had no idea. I thought it was gonna be like evidence to make Brad Pitt kill Morgan Freeman. So and that was why I think it was supposed to be a very sad movie. But other than that, I had no idea it was in the box except for that, which is probably pretty stupid, but still. Oh yeah, the guys I think about to get like stabbed in the eye with the like hot knife, which yeah, I believe they do show it. It's pretty brutal. So the ending of The Dark Knight also ends with Harvey Dent dying, a Gotham hating Batman, but it also ends with Gotham becoming a better place since they never knew about what happened to Harvey. Hallelujah. I love that side of it. I think that's one of the greatest movie endings of all time. It's one of the greatest movies. I love it. And thank you so much for inviting me for that one there. And I think we may. I'll think of something for the weekend for Die Hard on a weekend because I think it'll be a lot more convenient to do it in a weekend to do it than to do it on a Monday when it's a bit harder. Well, I'll think of something. I always do. Sometimes. Rambo's is getting ready to contact him. He's contacting him now. Oh yeah, he is weak. You can tell. Hosta, are you also gonna watch F dot 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 C dot 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 dot. I have no idea why people say that. I know it's Fight Club that you're talking about. No, because I know that I'm not allowed to watch it. As soon as like I can find somewhere to watch it, but I know it's a great film. But as soon as I can watch it, I will. But I know it's a great film. It also has Brad Pitt in it, so he's a great actor. Poor Rambo. He's really having to go through a lot of. He's getting ready to do that. Here comes. He's about to say, "Murdoch, I'm coming for you." He's about to say, "This is gonna be hilarious." I'm coming to get you. And his face is hilarious. I love that. And he's like now just dominating everyone. Rambo's awesome. There's a reason he's one of my favorite movie characters. He's just so awesome, and I love the depth he's given in the original that they then decide to take away in 2 and 3. Luckily, 4 and 5 mostly give it back. He's given depth in 4 and 5 again. This is like really where he turns into the '80s action hero. As soon as like his girlfriend dies by getting shot, that's when it starts. So, anyone have any Keep Watch Burns? Anything, I will answer them. But other than that, I'm just gonna be watching this really impressive, really entertaining movie. Uh, Honestly, you'll know a lot more when you've watched Fight Club. Don't get anything spoiled. There's no big twist, but it's still just something you shouldn't watch a trailer or anything. I never watched the trailer, and I probably never will until I've seen the movie. I know there's a twist in the film. I just didn't. I got spoiled that there was a twist, but I don't know what the twist is. So luckily, I knew there was a twist in 7, and I was still blown away by what the twist was. So luckily, I can probably still handle something like that. But I will not watch a preview or anything. I will not have it spoiled. I've had a lot of things spoiled for me. Another thing that really hurt was actually no wait. You're gonna watch the film soon, so I will not spoil this for you. So as soon as you see the films, I will let you know what I got spoiled for me. But there's a film that I had an ending spoiled for me that I really wish I didn't have spoiled. But I want you to have your general reaction to Hosta because it's in our the films that we're watching for the big ranking. So I'm not going to tell you. So just don't ask because I don't want to have to tell you. Luckily, there's a couple you haven't seen. And Hosta, based on what you said, didn't you watch some of the Die Hard sequels recently? Hosta, there's just a small twist. It's nothing big like 7. It's just the middle of the movie. There's a little thing. Oh. Hmm. I wish there was a big twist. Although it's considered one of the greatest twists of all time, so it must be a very important twist. Although, if you wanted some great twists, you can also watch like The Sixth Sense, which sadly I also had spoiled for me. Hostile. I've watched all the Die Hard movies now. Great. Do a ranking of those if you want to, because and I hope you hated A Good Day to Die Hard as much as I did, if not more. I'm happy with you hating it more than I did because I hated it. I wouldn't. I hated it. But I had to put it in bad instead of really bad when I did the tier list for the Home Alone and Die Hard thing because, boy, are those Home Alone sequels after two so bad. It is hilarious that they can get that bad. It's a huge. It's hilarious they can go from Home Alone 2 to Home Alone 3. Like, are you kidding me? They're now like during like a chase scene in the woods where Rambo's trying to get away, and I believe the guy that was a hostage was killed. I think I was doing a rant, so I can't remember, but I believe he was killed. Poor guy. Troutman, I like how Troutman's a lot more front and center in the 2 and 3. Actually, he was mostly front and center in 2. I wonder, is Murdoch sweating because of the heat, or because he knows that he has a very dangerous man that's angry at him? Ooh. Wow, I'm good. Oh, this scene looks pretty glossy. I noticed that it looks pretty glossy at certain points. Costa, I don't get how that good a twist, since it doesn't really impact much, but still don't get it spoiled. I just don't want you to think it completely changes the movie like Seven did. Yeah, that changed the entire movie. And I could tell you that was such a horrific twist that they do, especially with what the wife turns out to have in the what they talk about in the middle of the film. That was like what added insult to injury. And the fact that they that like the guy even says it and says and that she begged for life for her and the child inside of her, that was a even lower blow. There's a reason he deserved to die there. Phil Kid, I'm back. Oh no. Please don't tell me you heard what I just said about 7. Because if so, I really just feel bad about what I just said, because I cannot tell you that if I just ruined it. And Rambo and his girlfriend just kissed. And Film Kids, you are probably about to know what's about to happen. Same with you, Hosta. And good to see you back, Film Kid. I hope you can stay. Because there's only like 30 minutes left of the film, so good to have an extra buddy here. Film Kid, no, I did not. Oh, thank God. Please see that film soon. We should have like a discussion on that, if any of... But sadly, I don't have a Discord server, so I can't add anyone in. And she just got shot, and yeah, she just fell into... Yeah, she's dead. What's... Oh, poor girl. Oh, yeah, Rambo's really angry now. This is where he turns into like the big 80s action hero that's going to destroy everyone. And the guy that escapes, we all know what's about to happen to him, because it's one of the most violent kills in the franchise. He gets a shot with an arrow that explodes and explodes him as well. He just said, Rambo. Don't forgive me. And she is dead. Hosta, even though I predicted the 7 twist, it still hit really hard. You predicted that? I didn't think a single person on Earth could predict that thing. I don't even think the smartest person would predict that thing. That was a twist that came out of nowhere for me. I knew something was coming, because they do show it. They do tell you there's going to be a twist because of what the guy says. He doesn't shut up about it. But it still was like, okay, that blew my mind. That is probably my favorite twist of all time, simply because I've never had a twist that impacted me that much, and that just made me like, wait, I experienced such a great twist for myself. And it wasn't actually spoiled for me. Well, it partially was, but seriously. Okay, my dad wants to watch 7 with me. Then do it with him, dude. It's so great. That is your homework. Watch 7. That is a great movie. Watch it with him. Well, actually, I don't think there would be anything inappropriate. There's one thing about where they talk about a prostitute being killed in a very verbally graphic way, but other than that, you do see a man's genital at one point. But other than that, it's pretty much free for you. And now Rambo just buried her. Sad. Wait, he just wait, I remember that scene in like the nightmare scene in the fourth one. And there's like the iconic shot of Rambo with rain all over him and like that certain pose that he's like angry now. He's gonna kill all of them. And he's gonna enjoy it. So the killer sits in the car and tells Brad Pitt he couldn't wait to show him there's really only one thing personal top Brad Pitt in the movie yeah, that was really I had no idea what he was saying, but I could not predict it, but that also could be granted to my own stupidity, but still. But that was like a really good twist. Are you going to watch Kick? And I know it's about to be spelled, so I'm not going to finish that. Thank you so much for censoring that. It was epic. I will see it as soon as I can. I know it's on Netflix. If there's any nudity in it, I won't be seeing it for a while. But I'm going to try and see it soon. I also was going to see Zombieland, but I need to find somewhere to watch it first. My dad has the second one purchased, but double tap, but he doesn't have the original one purchased. But I need to see those. You really said the original was good, and you also said the second one was pretty good as well. And Phil Kid, was I correct that your ranking? That your versus episode that was canceled was going to be on Thursday. It was going to be Zombieland versus Zombieland 2 Double Tap. Was I correct? Answer me that, yes or no. And now here's the iconic fight. Hasta, gotta go. Ah, darn. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for being here. Hasta la vista, baby. Ah, that's a good one. And also, thank you so much for that invitation with the McLean thing. Film Kid, there is nothing but there is tons of jokes. I can handle jokes. They can get vulgar at points, but I've dealt with things like Seven where they don't go jokey with it. They go graphic, but it's verbally graphic to hear some of the stuff they talk about, especially in one scene. Hasta may know what I'm talking about, though. Hasta, bye. Sorry to see you go, man. Oh, this is my favorite scene in the movie where like Rambo's just like taking everyone down. He just took a guy and a rocks with him. Yeah, this is awesome. He's using the forest against them. Oh yeah, here's the iconic shot of seeing Rambo in the dirt right behind the guy, and he's like about to grab him. That was awesome. Okay, so who do we still have here? Since we still have Hosta in here, but I think he left, so that's odd. This is a pretty awesome movie. As soon as I get through 3, I will decide which is my least favorite, because Rambo Last Blood is usually cemented at like number 3. I just like the way that he has more depth in it, and I can take him more seriously than I can in Part 2. Last Blood has debatably my favorite version of Rambo. He seems like he's a lot nicer of a person. He smiles more, a lot more in Last Blood, especially when he's around Gabrielle. William, hi man. I really have to see Rambo 2 in the cinema. Oh yeah, we do need to see that. I'm gonna, if they ever re-release it as soon as I'm a grown up, so I can actually just pay for it myself. Because it's rated R, so I won't be able to see it at my age in the theater. I'm gonna do it. Okay. I would love to see it. Film Kid, what is your favorite non DC or Marvel film? What do you mean by non DC or Marvel? Wait, non DC or Marvel film? Oh, as in like. Wait a minute. How can there be a non DC Marvel? What is your favorite non DC or Marvel film? Oh, Film Kid. I meant to say superhero movie. Favorite non Marvel and DC superhero film. Uh. Uh. Hmm. 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 William, I'd fly over to America to watch it with you. That's very nice of you. Glad you are probably the most positive YouTuber I can think of I've seen in a long time. That's a really good quality to have. I'm really glad I have people that are very nice like you. Hmm. Uh, The Incredibles, maybe. Yeah, I think it's The Incredibles. Or would you count Furious 7 because of how superhero can go at times? I'm joking. I'm joking. It's The Incredibles. But come on, that's actually a pretty funny joke. Because I just got done watching Furious 7, and I have to say, that is a great send off to Paul Walker. They really know how to send off a man. Which, I'm going to say it, I haven't seen The Fate of the Furious yet. It should have been the end of the series. And I know for a fact I'm going to like The Fate of the Furious more than Tokyo Drift and Too Fast, Too Furious. I did not like either of those. Because at least I get at least Hobbs and Shaw have a really funny banter in that one. I've seen clips of them fighting in that one. It is hilarious. I love the way that they just go at each other constantly, like going insults. That basically guaranteed them their own spinoff, which I hear is great. It's like top 5 Fast and Furious at worst. Film Kid, did you like my ranking that I released today? Of the Toy Story movies? Yes, I did. I really enjoyed it. Uh, Yeah, I did enjoy it. I do think that Toy Story 2 is better than Toy Story 3 because I have more nostalgia for 2, and 3 I was not a fan of when I first saw it, but I do think 4 is now my least favorite of the Toy Story movies. I think Lightyear's awful, but I don't consider that one a Toy Story movie because they're not toys in that one, plus it's just so bad. Because I hate Lightyear. And now Rambo's just doing the iconic shot of just shooting the arrows with that are exploding. That's awesome. William, my favorite superhero movie is the director's cut of Superman 2. I never saw the second Superman. I saw the original and I wasn't as big a fan of it. It was too silly for me. So, wait, the what is it called? The Richard Donner cut. That's what I have not seen that one yet. I probably will soon. But The Dark Knight's easily my favorite superhero film, and it is one of the greatest films of all time. And Heath Ledger is just such a great villain. He's such a terrifying villain. William, it's really good, man. I will check it out soon. I'll take your word for it. But Heath Ledger's such a terrifying villain at times, and I love how the way that he uses like he smiles and like, but it feels like almost the smiling is almost the way that he smiles is almost more intimidating than him actually like just getting angry, which he only does a few times in the film. He does it once, like when he's on the like call with him, he gets angry during that, which you see with him like saying "Look at me," which is a very terrifying film. I mean, scene because Heath Ledger directed that scene. He was actually given free will to Christopher Nolan didn't direct that scene in the movie. He gave it to Heath where he got to do like the all sorts of that stuff, and it's pretty impressive. I love that scene. Film Kid. Thought on thought on what I did with the numbers. I loved it. I still can't find that website that you talked to me about, but I will try and find it because I need to use that. That was impressive, man. And he just blew that guy up with the arrow. That was awesome. This definitely has more moments than Rambo 3. Even if Rambo 3 just goes completely bonkers and nuts with that awesome action. Now Rambo's running because they're about to drop the bomb. They just dropped the bomb. It's about to explode in 3, 2, wait. 3, 2, 1. Okay, no. 1. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, and that was awesome. I would have thought that based on the way he touched him, I felt like his back would have been a bit burned, but I can get over that. It's over the top, but it's fun. 80s was like very over the top. That was like the decade for everything 80. It was very over the top. But there was actually a movie in 1987 called Over the Top with Stallone. Check it out. It is a fantastic movie. I think it's like a 4.5. I gave it a 4-star review when I first saw it. I need to change it to 4.5. I'll do that as soon as I finish this. But I love that film. It's still one of my favorite Stallone films. because he's just such a likable character. If you want to watch it, it's for free on YouTube if you're in the right country. I think if you're in America, you can watch it for free if it's still there. It might not be anymore, but it's a great film. Or buy it. It's such a great film. It's heartfelt, so I recommend you watch it. Over the Top is so great, and it's very heartfelt. I love it, and it's like an arm wrestling movie, so I thought it was awesome. What's your favorite non talk about film? And it can't be Free Guy. What do you mean by non talk not talk about? Because I have no idea what you're saying, and I have no idea how Free Guy gets to be in that conversation. Yeah, it really is getting glossy in terms of what are they putting on it, because it's starting to look a bit weirder. It's not. It doesn't hurt it too much, but I cannot deny it does look a bit weirder and kind of distracting, especially since it's the daytime. It kind of has the same problem as Scream 4. Hmm. William, I need this truck. I need this truck. Oh yeah, wait. Oh yeah, then I'm guessing you have seen it because I think that's a line in the movie. I know they. I know truck is the trucks are using that because William, have you seen that movie? Because I'm pretty sure that's a line. The film kid, can you elaborate a bit more on what a not talk about film is? Because that's a bit more confusing. Hmm. Yeah, Rambo's awesome, and he's flying a helicopter. Stallone can fly. Never mind. Why do you like Free Guy so much? I was not a big fan of it. What? I just thought it was so rewatchable, and I felt like the humor was hilarious. I felt like it was a movie that's very video game like, and I thought the humor was funny. I thought Ryan Reynolds was very likable in it, and I thought the humor. Sorry, I've said the humor several times. The action at points was really cool. I thought that the story was interesting. I thought the pacing was great, and I also thought it was a very creative movie. So I just loved it. It's a great movie, and I would say, uh, so most of it lands. It's in my top 30 or 40 favorite movies of all time. I loved it, William. Yeah, I really liked it too. Yeah, it's so good, and it's just so heartfelt, and it's just that's like a really good feel good movie. Stallone has quite a few of those, including like most of the Rocky movies are feel good movies as well. The original is my favorite though, because it's most people's favorite. There's like a few stragglers that would say Creed's better, but I'm mostly just a Rocky fan. But I know quite a few people that would actually say Creed is better than Rocky, even if I'm more of a Rocky person myself. Just like Stallone, he's just such a great actor. Although my favorite performance by Stallone is in Creed. I think him as a mentor is just such a great performance. It's between that and what he performs in First Blood at like the ending scene. He had a great performance in that. Truly heartfelt. I loved it. So you can drop some keep watch burns because the movie's gonna be over soon. Rambo's going on the violent helicopter rampage. So you can drop some keep watch burns like relate to Rambo, Stallone, whatever you guys want, 80s, anything you guys want. I will try and answer them. So I'm trying to get some keep watch burns that'll really stump me. So I may try and do like a live thing where it's gonna be like a keep watch burn type live thing where all you guys can like do is like give me all sorts of keep watch burns. So that would be really fun. Rambo's now using the gun. There was like a big thing in the 80s because if you've seen Rambo First Blood Part 2 recently, you'll know he whenever he shoots the gun, he's not aiming it up. And like in John Wick, you see John Wick have the gun and he's pointing it at his eye. Well, he has it up to his eyes because he needs to see to shoot people. Meanwhile, in like Rambo and basically all sorts of films in the 80s, they're not at all using the hole to look at it. They're just completely just aiming, and they're just completely aiming for nothing. Leon, hi. Hey, Leon. Oh, man, that was a big rant. I just went, okay, the hostage is still alive. Film key, keep watch burn, True Lies, Commando, Over the Top. Oh, come on, man. Okay, I said hard, but not that hard. Okay, yeah, I love just the way the Stone's like, move it, move it. Okay. Burn, True Lies, sadly. Oh, man, I feel so guilty about having to do that. Now this is the top two where it gets confusing. It'll gets hard. I think I'll watch Commando, and I will keep Over the Top because I just love Stallone's performance, and I think it's just so heartfelt. Leon, congrats on 300 subs. Thank you. I actually got to 315 today. Which is why I was doing this, because of 315, and I need to get the Rambo sequels done for like these genre challenges ranking. I will try and get the Daniel Craig Bond movies done. I'm gonna finish Predator, and then I'm gonna finish Moonraker as soon as I get done with this because I need to get that done. But I'm gonna get to Daniel Craig soon. I think after I get done with all the Roger Moore films. I take a break of Bond because I need to go on a 3-way thing with my dad where I watch the Austin Powers movies because they're a spoof of James Bond. Then I go back to them starting with Timothy Dalton. But I would highly recommend you guys, if you have not seen James Bond, watch it. So far, Connery is my favorite Bond, but that's mostly because I'm not as big of a fan of Roger Moore. He's just not my type. I just don't care for his Bond. Also, it doesn't really. It also kind of hurts the fact that I don't really enjoy most of his movies. I thought Spy Who Loved Me was decent, but I did not like Live and Let Die. I thought The Man with the Golden Gun was okay, and Moonraker's fine. But the way they treat Jaws in that is a joke. That is a horrible way to treat him. There's like one scene that I would try and show, and when I do a ranking of the Bond movies, that when I get to Moonraker, I am telling you they did something unforgivable. Sorry. There. Sorry if you guys saw anything. You shouldn't have seen anything. So, Phil Kid, I am planning an Austin Powers ranking. They are really funny. I hear. I know it's from the guy who voices Shrek. He was the main character of the movies. So I'm not a big Shrek fan. I think all of the films are overrated. I mean 2 and 3 are. I mean 2 and 1 are very overrated. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is by a landslide the best of them. But I'm not a very big fan of the Shrek movies. I think that Shrek's unlikable. He's dumb. He's annoying. Just everything. Donkey and Puss in Boots are way better characters than him. And now they're like now we were at like the helicopter chase. Okay, what? Oh, we helicopter going out of control. And the helicopter just shot the other helicopter. Okay, there's no way the helicopter would have gotten out of there that fast. Wait, where is Rambo? Okay, no way the helicopter would have gotten to safety that fast. I'm starting to suspend a bit more disbelief, which is fine, but still. Film Kid, are you going to be watching Zoe? I have no idea what Zoe is. Never heard of it. And Rainbow just used the rocket launcher. Yeah. Zombieland is what I meant to say by Film Kid. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna watch it soon. I think. I hear it's good. I hear it's also really funny. And I can watch the second one because my dad has that one purchased, so it'll be easier. He doesn't have the first one, so I'll have to find somewhere to watch it. Like, probably just like use my VPN to find it somewhere through Netflix. That's usually what I'm good at. Using the VPN. Rainbow's awesome. We can all agree on that. Let's all agree. Rambo is awesome. And they're using the score. This is a great score. There's 9 minutes left on the film. It doesn't fly by like First Blood does, but it's still pretty entertaining. Something I noticed is the films are not long in the Rambo series. The extended cut of Last Blood, which is like an hour 40, and Rambo 3, which is also around an hour 40, are like the longest in the series. But if you're counting the shortest, Last Blood is only an hour 20 if we're talking about the theatrical edition, and John Rambo's like an hour 20. They are short at points. First of all, in the middle, it's an hour and a half. So Rambo's like coming in for an emergency landing. And apparently. And Murdoch's like going back to his office, like, okay, I can avoid this. Just. And now Troutman's taking charge. Man, I just love how they treat Troutman in this. Troutman's a great character. So you guys can drop a few more key watch burns because I'm going to end this soon after the film ends. Like, we'll go for like 10 more minutes after the film ends, I think. And then I'll end it. But I've had a lot of fun with this one. So drop some key watch burns. I will try and answer them. And I'm going to be probably getting a lot more of these difficult ones. I'm going to rewatch the Avatar movies and try and do a James Cameron ranking. You do realize Piranha 2 and The Abyss are also in there. And I'm not going to try and watch the Avatar. I'm going to try and watch the Avatar movies soon, but I know they're not going to be that good. I know that people, the only reason they make money is because of their effects. Like, people get so defensive of the movie when you criticize them, but as soon as you talk about, as soon as say it's just because the effects, nobody argues. They're just like, no, the film's good. Wait, it's just the effects, but they don't decide to do anything about it. Why? Because people just want to praise the film because it made money. It just doesn't make sense. And Rambo just hit that guy in the chest because he left him. He deserved that. And Troutman's like, he's not. Hey, this is your business. I'm fine with that. John Jay. And you can tell Rambo's angry. He's coming for Murdoch. And Rambo's now shooting the guns. And yeah, Murdoch knows what's coming to him. He's like, oh no, I really angered him. Classic. Yeah, he's getting angry. And here he comes. Doesn't Troutman try to... doesn't Murdoch try to justify what he did? I don't make the order? Oh, come on. Film Kid, can you rage about my thoughts on A Good Day to Die Hard? I actually have never had someone actually intentionally rage on me, but seriously, man, I have no idea why. Why do you like A Good Day to Die Hard? I get it's R-rated. But there's an unrated cut of Live Free or Die Hard, but you have to watch the PG-13 cut because you have to criticize it. But seriously, A Good Day Die Hard's awful. The pacing is terrible. The characters are horrible. The actions is so horrendous. The Jai Courtney's a terrible character. I can't stand him. I hate the film. And the fact that it's a Die Hard film just adds insult to injury because the only weak Die Hard film, well, the only Die Hard movie that's bad is that one. I really enjoy all the other ones. Two and four are guilty pleasures, but three is just great, naturally great, and well, most people will say that two and four are good, but I hate the fifth one. It's not a good film. I have no idea. Why do you think it's at least a 2.5? It's at best a 1.5. I gave it a 1.5. It's debatably probably going to go down to a 1 as soon as I see it. Because we have to get it done for the big ranking, but I hate that film. Why, Film Kid? Why? Yeesh. Don't know why. And also I'm probably gonna have to watch the extended cut of the A Good Day Die Hard just so I can say I've watched both. That's gonna be even worse because it's just more of the same movie. I know it's not gonna be better. Just because there's a bit more blood in it does not make it good. I love Truman has such good advice. I'd die for my country. And what is it you want? Here it comes. I want what they want. And every other guy who came over here has spilled his guts. Gave everything he had. For our country to love us as much as we love it. Yeah. That's what I want. That's a great monologue. I mean, not monologue. That's a great line. I love it. If you can't tell, I'm clapping. Film Kid, thank you. Can you just rate at some of my other opinions with random movies? Are you Wait, is this for a video or something? But something I also do not get is why is it every single time that we get another movie that is good like Terminator Salvation just because it's PG-13? Seriously, at least it comes up with ideas that are good. Christian Bale's our best John Connor by a landslide since Eddie Furlong. But no, now we have to disrespect it because it's PG-13. Again, there's an unrated... No, wait, no. There's a director's cut of it. That's, I think, R-rated. But no, we have to always disrespect the PG-13s. But, oh, yeah, the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad, really awful, terrible, disgusting Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines gets the special treatment because it's rated R. At least Terminator Salvation does not copy 1 and 2. Terminator 3 copies 1 and 2. It's basically a spoof of 1 and 2. It's just nowhere near as good. The humor never lands. Nothing lands. I hate this. I hate Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. It's time. I wish that movie had been terminated. Or that franchise in general, because while I do enjoy Dark Fate and Salvation, and Genesis, the franchise needs to be terminated for its own good. It just keeps getting worse somehow in certain regards. But seriously, Film Kid, at least PG-13 ideas usually come good. I will not rant about RoboCop 3 because I have not seen... Wait, which one was in last place? RoboCop 3. I will not rant about that one because I have not seen the RoboCop movies. But I at least know I can respect it. Most of the time, I can at least respect the PG-13 movies and the R-rated franchises more than I can the R-rated movies. Why? Because the R-rated franchises usually, after going PG-13, convert back to R-rated and somehow, ironically, seem to get worse every time. It's hilarious that it happens. But I can't say. Even I know Expendables 4 is definitely worse than Expendables 3. Because at least Expendables 3 has a better cast. And also, Stallone is in Expendables 3. He's barely in Expendables 4, and I haven't even seen it, I know that. And it looked like it was going to be the best one. And then I started getting taste, and other people started talking about the preview, and I was like, oh, wait, yeah, this actually does not look very good. Oh, man, I'm actually pretty good at my rants. I can really start my rants when I need to. That's actually pretty impressive. I can do that. Thoughts on Film Kid? Thoughts on Expendables 4? I have not seen it yet. I know it's bad. I know it's bad though. I heard it was awful. But as soon as I see it, I'm on Expendables 2 right now in my marathon, in my action ranking that we're doing. I have seen The Expendables, John Wick Chapter 2, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Harder. What are the other ones? I know I've seen more than that. I've seen, yeah, I think that's it, because I have not started Mission Impossible yet. I need to, because I really am enjoying that franchise. It's hilarious that Expendables 4, if I had seen it as the day I purchased it, which was the day I purchased Dead Reckoning Part 1, as well as the Expendables 1, 2, and 3. If I watched it then, and then I had to rewatch it, I would have hated it, probably. But I'm going to have to rewatch Dead Reckoning Part 1, and I am very excited for that. And I saw the movie about a month or two ago. And so I really enjoyed I love Dead Reckoning Part 1, which just goes to show how just different a wide variety of action movies can range from. So I just finished Rambo First Blood Part 2. And it was really enjoyable. It's probably 3.5 still. It's probably around the same I gave it last time. It starts to dip a bit more like the back half kind of, but I still enjoy it. It starts to suspend a bit more disbelief, but I can enjoy. I can enjoy it. I think it's fun, but is it like Rambo, First Blood, and like John Rambo material? No. Is it like Last Blood material? No. I enjoy all those movies more, and probably Rambo 3 too. I just as soon as I get them done, I will see. Ah, felt good to be honest. I have not seen anything for our ranking besides Die Hard. What do you mean by that? To be honest, I have not. Oh, oh, come on, man! You need to get them done fast. I'm the one that's been trying to commit to getting through 20, through getting like 100 like James Bond movies just to get to Daniel Craig. Although that's mostly because I ordered a poster for Casino Royale and Skyfall, and I hear those films are really good, so I want to see them first. Then I can hang the posters. So I cannot take that as much credit, but I know Casino Royale and Skyfall are supposed to be great. They're supposed to be the best of the Bonds, James Bond movies. And Daniel Craig so far looks like he's gonna give Connery a run for his money. I don't know because I know I love Connery. He's such a great Bond, but I also have to keep in mind Daniel Craig didn't get a single bad movie. I think Quantum of Solace is regarded as his worst, but most people will still say it's at least solid. But then you get things like Sean Connery, who ended on a horrible way. He had two different endings, and both were horrendous. He had Diamonds Are Forever. I mean, he had three really bad films in this thing. He got You Only Live Twice. He should have ended after that. It was that bad. He then got Diamonds Are Forever. It was even worse. He should have definitely hung up there. He did. Then he came back to do Never Say Never Again, which is the worst Bond film by far. Not even close. And it's just so bad. And keep in mind, Daniel Craig went out on a bang. If you've seen the film, you know what I mean when I say he went out on a bang. Literally. I sadly had that ending for me spoiled. Thanks a lot, the internet. But what happens to the end? What happens to 007 in the end? I heard about, and sadly, I really wish I could have undone that. But also Timothy Dalton. Also, I hear both of his films are solid, so he also had a great run. What is his name? Pierce Brosnan. He had a Die Another Day as his last one, so he also did not go out on a bang. So it's not really. I am not looking forward to Die Another Day, except for the fact that as soon as I finish that, I have Casino Royale after that, which is going to be a big total shift from like campy, horrible, horrendous CGI waves that Bond is waving on to then a very like brutal type Bond movie, which is gonna be pretty cool. But I think it's awesome that I'm gonna get to Daniel Craig for a while and then Roger Moore. His era was awful. His era I have not had a very fun time with so far. Even The Spy Who Loved Me is kind of overrated. I thought it was good, but it's not that good. I gave it like 4 stars at best. That's only William. License to Kill with Dalton is really cool. Now I have not gotten the License to Kill, but I hear that one I think is the most violent of them. Also, I mean, Daniel Craig also had a pretty violent era. Film Kid. Also, Never Say Never Again is not part of the other movies. I know that it's not canon. It's not canon inside the franchise. They didn't have the rights to it. So, like, when you open it, instead of getting the iconic gun barrel thing that they do in all the Bond movies, it opens with all sorts of 007 titles on the film coming in. It looks awful. It's such a bad thing. It's basically just a remake of Thunderball, just nowhere near as good. Thunderball's is a great Bond movie. It's probably the most rewatchable of all the Bond movies I've seen so far, and I thought it was awesome. So, and then you take, and then you make Never Say Never Again is basically a reboot of that. Very stupid decision. I mean, fine. I mean, and I just cannot look past seeing just Sean Connery in that film. He's so old. I mean, he was very old in that film. Very. William, don't forget Copland with Stallone. On my radar, buddy. As soon as I get done with some of my films, like Inception on top of that, I will get to that. It's Stallone, so you have my word, it's on my priority. I also need to get done with Cliffhanger. I mean, I need to watch Cliffhanger. I have a few I need to watch just alone. I'm trying to get done with his entire filmography because I just think he's such an interesting actor and I want to see all of his films. He is such a great actor. Okay, I will go for about 5 more minutes as soon as I've been on here for about uh, 60. I'll go for like 5 more minutes here. So if you have any more questions, make sure to drop them in the comments below because I'm about to stop this. So if you have any more questions, feel free to drop them in. And it like one more keep watch burn from any of you guys can be nice. You both can do one if you want, but after that, I'm gonna end the stream. But I have had a very fun time, so thank you all so much for this. So if you have any more questions, drop them real quick. I will answer them. Keep watch burns, I will answer, and then we will end it. Whew. So I'm gonna assume that you guys are typing, but I am. This has been a very fun stream. I had a fun time with part two. It's one of those movies that It's a lot more glossy than I remember. William, do you like 2D animation? Yeah, I like it. It's good. It depend. I think it's good. Like if you, I think 2D animation is like Charlie Brown in like the ones from the 60s aren't those 2D animation pieces, so I do like it. I think it's fine. I think it's good. 3D animation might be better, but if we're going for like which one's one that's more like how do I say this? Uh Actually I'll forget it. Philip Kid. Keep Watch Burn, Shawshank Redemption, We Bought a Zoo, Commando. Didn't finish Shawshank Redemption yet, but it's very sad, so I will. Actually, no. Wait, yeah. Wait, no. I'm going off of rewatchability here, so I'm going to burn Shawshank because it's less rewatchable. The top two is where it starts to get slippery. I think they're right next to each other in my top favorite movies of all time. I think they actually are right next to each other in my top ranking of my favorite movies of all time. So, okay. Stay calm. Which one would you rather rewatch? Yeah, this is a difficult one. I think I will purely have to. I love Arnold, so I'm gonna have to keep Commando and watch We Bought a Zoo. We Bought a Zoo had went down a lot in my ranking. I still love it, but it's hilarious. It went down a lot in my ranking. Like if you go to my letterbox, you may laugh out loud because it was like at my borderline top 10, and I even said once that it is like in my top three of all time. I think at one point, and then you see where it is now. You're like, oh wow, this guy really did go hard on it, Liam. There's a really great Irish movie from a few years ago called Wolf Walkers. Check it out, man. Got it. I will put that one on my radar too. Anything that people tell me to put on my radar, I will usually try and put on my radar and see if it's good. So make sure to follow me on Letterboxd by getting it to see if you. Then you can tell if I've seen it. I will post. I usually post some stuff on there daily, like what I've seen, because Letterboxd is like a thing where you can count whatever movies you've seen, rate them 1 out of 5 stars. It's great. So we can do like a few more keep watch burns, a few more questions, then we will end it because we have like 2 minutes left, and then I will end it. Whew, man, I'm good at my rants. Well, at least know how to rant smartly without getting myself into too much trouble with some people because. And I hope I satisfied you, Film Kid, with my rants I gave you on with some rage rants. And also, Film Kid, I may have a request I need you to fill out on one of your videos, possibly. Make sure to like chat to me after this ends. What is the request? Because there's something I'm gonna need you to do. I'm gonna want you to like post something real quick that I can record and then you can delete it because there's something I'm really wanting to do for my video for the action ranking that I'm gonna need you to post, please. Film Kid, number one movie that I need to watch that you haven't already recommended to me. Because I've recommended you some classics. Okay. I kind of recommended you over the top by telling everyone in the majority to watch it, so I can't use that one. Okay. That's a good question. Where's The Prestige? I don't think I recommended you that one. Watch it. It's amazing. You gotta watch The Prestige, man. That is a great movie. I think like there's some really great stuff in that. There's some stuff that's gonna blow you away. I'm not gonna tell you what, because then you'll even like start looking for it, but it can blow you away at points. William, I'm out of here. Ledger, keep up the good work, man. Thank you so much. I am going to be out of here in like a minute, two. I need a response from Film Kid about what I need him to do, but thank you so much for this. Glad to see we still have some great people in glad to see we got some great people in the chat. Thank you so much for that, William. But Film Kid, please, I need you to like make a video on something. Make sure to chat to me afterward what the thing that you need to post is. I am gonna need you to. It could sound a little weird, but maybe not. But it's something that I'm going to do for comedic effect on my uh ranking for the genre challengers. Film Kid, what is the request? I don't want. I don't want to say it here. Just comment on my latest post and because I don't want to say it here because I don't want to spoil it. But I'm going to do something for comedic effect on a good day to die hard. I'm gonna need you to post. I'm gonna instruct you to post something. I will be right there, about to download it and then record it. Then you can delete it. Okay? Because uh, you could even say do not click on this video. Then I can easily just do it. But make sure to. So it has been okay. We are now ready. I will end this stream. Thank you all so much for this. I am so happy. I'm pretty tired, but Film Kid, make sure to comment to me as fast as possible what the request is on my latest post because I will need you to because I just need you to make a video. If you sound a bit weird, it could, but it probably won't sound too weird. It could sound like something that even you would think is pretty funny, but thank you all so much for this. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you. Make sure to watch Rambo 3 if you have not already, because I am going to be doing a watch along for Rambo 3 next. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a good one.